Okay, guys, I know I talked a little bit about this when we last had class, but now it's time to do it. The next step and the final step of our outlining process is to start fleshing out these claims and observations. I apologize for my cat. She wants to go outside, but she can't. Anyway, as for the evidence and support and the explanation of the evidence, that stuff we did more on your digital note cards. So, I mean, if you want to copy and paste them over, you can. If you just kind of want to leave it as the outline and then also having digital note cards, you can. It's really up to you. All right. But now we got to get going on these claims and observations. Okay. Some of you might have done like I've done and have just bullet pointed information there. Some of you might not have anything, but this is really writing about your topic as with the information you kind of already have in your head. When we do actual drafting, which is coming up next, then we can start to integrate sources and things like that. But again, the claims and observations are just things that you can kind of talk about without really diving into your sources yet. So, for example, the one I already have is I am talking about the common mental illnesses before psychology was a thing. And I just, am doing a little bit of fleshing out of what I know about mental illnesses before we really knew what they were. There's definitely more here I could write, but I don't want you guys to get overwhelmed, and I'm not actually writing an essay, so I don't want to go too far. But to show you kind of what this looks like, you can, so I'll do the fourth paragraph, my third body paragraph. I want to talk about what modern psychology is like. And most of all, I want to talk about when people started learning more about mental illnesses, things that they got right, but also things that they didn't get right, because it was like new science, and they were still figuring things out. So I've already noted down, I kind of want to talk about how, in the early days, they called things mental illnesses that they weren't really mental illnesses. They were trying to figure out what caused different mental illnesses, and then they were also trying out dangerous treatments that didn't work. So I'll take my bullet points, and I'll start saying things like, when psychology was beginning as a legitimate science, there were a lot of discoveries and treatments that have helped to inform current understanding of mental illnesses to this very day. However, in getting to those correct and helpful diagnoses, there were a lot of treatments and diagnoses that psychology got wrong. For example, in the early days, it was thought to be therapeutic to give women hysterectomies to help solve any problem from the traditional hysteria to supposed Schizophrenia. Okay, I'm going to stop there because, like I said, you guys don't need to watch me writing a whole freaking essay on here. But for now, just getting out my ideas. I already included transition sentences and stuff in there for myself just because that's how I write. If yours feels a little like disjointed or maybe not entirely complete sentences the whole way through, that's okay. Again, this is still the working outline. And, maybe I'll put information in for this paragraph. I'll jump over to present day knowledge. And then maybe sometime I'll go back and be like, I don't really like all the sentences I have there. I know what I was getting at, but I was working pretty quickly. Maybe I'll go back and edit these. That's totally cool. All right. But this is these two things are the last things that I'm going to look for in the outline check. The last things you need to do, you need to flesh out these claims and observations. So start typing in, information that things that, kind of pre-drafting that you can put in there. Like I said, the evidence support explanation of evidence is kind of those digital note cards. You can put them in this outline if you want to, or else you can just keep it in your note cards. But what I'll be looking for are these claims and observations. And then also for anyone who hasn't yet, I know a lot of people, like I said, and a lot of people like to, write a basic introduction. I know somebody's going to ask because it's every time. But the point preview, after you have your thesis, so after you have the sentence that states what your whole entire paper is about, then you are just combining the, information you have in your topic sentences. So you are previewing, you are quickly summarizing what your paragraphs are going to be about so that we have a hint to that in the introduction, right? That's all it is. Do that. When I come back, I can definitely take a look at all this stuff for you guys. If you think oh, I don't know if I did my point preview correctly, I can take a look at it. All right. But that's really your task for today. All right. You guys all know what I expect when I'm there for work time, and I expect even better from you when there is a guest in my classroom. So, do your work. Do what you need to do. We'll talk about this stuff and the next steps when I do come back, but hop to it. If you need anything, send me an email. I will try to check in with that as often as I can, but if I don't respond right away, I apologize. All right, get it going.